Hey, how are you doing out there, people? I know this will probably get seen tomorrow when people actually have time to watch it. Or maybe some people will watch it tonight. Regardless, it'll probably only get seen by about six people at most anyway. It's around the amount of views that these videos you usually get is like 5 to 6, because this channel has like 14 subscribers, which, by the way, if you're not subscribed, I would highly recommend doing so. Yeah, we have, obviously, this kind of content. Sometimes I post League of Legends stuff as well. But, yeah, during the NFL season, I always make these picks videos, and let's get into it. Anyway, so we have the first game this week. Obviously, Thursday is tomorrow, so we're actually going to be able to make the Thursday night prediction this week. Last week, we were not able to do that. By the way, if we go through last week, real quick, I don't think I got that one right. I don't remember. I definitely did not get that right, so yeah. But I got these two right, so 2 and 2 there. That was 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 4 and 3, 4 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 5, 6 and 5, 7 and 5, 7 and 6, 7 and 7, 8 and 7, and I believe I was 9 and 7 last week. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't even make a prediction on the Panthers-Texans game last week, so this count that as a loss. So I was 9 and 7 last week. I think overall on the season, I was like 19 and 16 before that. So overall on the season, add 9 to 19. 9 plus 9 is 18, so carry the 1, which gets us to 28, and then 28 minus 2. So we're 28 and 25 on the season, basically. Actually, no, 28 and 28 and 26. 28, 26 on the season, so barely still have a winning record on my picks, but yeah, let's get into this week, actually, because I said that about a minute ago, and now we can finally actually start getting into this week. So tomorrow night's game is the Jaguars and Bengals. I don't really love the Jaguars in this game. I like the Bengals here. The Bengals pulled off the upset victory against the Steelers last week, but I think this game should be pretty, I don't want to say easy for the Bengals, right? I like what I've seen out of Trevor Lawrence so far versus what I've seen out of all the other rookie quarterbacks. He does look like he was the best rookie quarterback in this year's draft. But yeah, I just don't see him beating Joe Burrow, though. Joe Burrow has a year more of experience. The Bengals overall were a better team last year, and they're a better team this year. I think the Bengals can win this. I think it's going to be close, because in true Bengals fashion, they'll probably turn the ball over a couple of times, even to a bad Jaguars defense. The Jaguars defense is bad. Their offense is okay. I don't think the Jaguars really knew what their problem was, because obviously the problem wasn't at quarterback. It was in other places on their roster, and yeah, getting Trevor Lawrence did not fix all the problems that they wanted it to fix. I don't think it's going to be a fun game. I don't think anyone besides Jags and Bengals fans really wants to watch this game. But I think the Bengals win 24-20. I feel like that'd be a fair score, 24-20 Bengals. Jets Titans, this should be a blowout. The Titans should win this easily. Zach Wilson looks like a bust. Ryan Tannehill is a pretty mediocre quarterback, but the Titans have a much better team on paper, and they should win that easily unless like some ridiculous upset scenario happens, but I doubt it. I think it's going to be an easy dub for the Titans. The Titans to score around 30 points a game. The Jets score like 8 points a game? Something really bad like that. To be fair to the Jets, I'll give them 13 points this game because the Titans' defense is terrible. So I could see the Jets at least scoring 13, but I'll make it a 30-13 Titans victory. Bears and Lions, both teams are struggling right now. I'm a Ravens fan, so I watched the Lions play against the Ravens last week. What a crazy game with a historic play at the very end with Justin Tucker winning it for the Ravens last week against the Lions. I did not expect the Lions to be in it that close against the Ravens last week, even with the Ravens' injuries and whatnot. The Bears, on the other side, had the worst offensive game I think I've ever seen in my whole life last week. Justin Fields is the starting quarterback right now, and I think we all know why Andy Dalton won that role, right? The Lions' defense looked pretty decent against the Ravens last week, only giving up 19 points. And yes, the Browns' defense is better than the Lions' defense. That being said, you're going to have to make leaps and bounds more, and then you're going to have to make a lot more plays. You're going to have to make a lot better plays to even get a win against a team such as the Lions. This being said, it's a divisional game in Chicago, so maybe that plays a factor, but I think the Lions actually win this game. I'm going to take the Lions here, and I don't think that's an upset. I actually think the Lions are an overall better football team than the Bears are right now. The Bears are hot garbage right now. They're really bad. Yeah. I don't expect it to be a blowout or anything. I expect it to be close, but, look out for DeAndre Swift. He was the guy that made a bunch of plays against the Ravens last week. He made it interesting. Hawkinson is also a good tight end, so the Lions got some players. Obviously, the Bears' defense is decent. But their offense is so suspect, I don't even know. I think the Lions will win the game like maybe 21-17 or something like that, and that might even be kind to the Bears' offense. I think the Bears' offense, they went from Mitch Trubisky to Justin Fields, and that might have been a downgrade. Andy Dalton was probably keeping it around the same, but Mitch Trubisky is ironically looking pretty good right now if you're a Bears fan. Dolphins-Colts. So last week, I didn't know who was starting for the Dolphins. Apparently, Jacoby Brissett is the starter for the Dolphins, so this means he's playing his former team. And I want to be sure. I think that's right. Brissett. No, I don't. Oh, I fucking. Jeez. Jacoby Brissett. I'm pretty sure he started. Jacoby Brissett, Dolphins about to be aggressive when. Okay, yeah. So, Brissett. Yeah, he's not in a revenge game, so he is playing for the Dolphins. I was right. I just wanted to make sure I was right on that. Obviously, Carson Wentz starting for the Colts at quarterback. The Dolphins, I think, with Brissett, win this game pretty handily. I'm always going to be doubting the Colts until Carson Wentz shows me that he can actually play football still, because Carson Wentz has not looked great. I'm gonna have to start calling him Carson Wentz, because I never really thought he was all that good, even in 2015, or whenever the Eagles won the Super Bowl. No, that was in 2017 or whatever year I think it was 17. Even in 2017, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and he was their starter for a while, when he got injured, it didn't really matter. The Eagles still ended up winning the Super Bowl, and people were like, "Oh, look at what he did." No. Carson Wentz had a stacked team in Philadelphia that year. Any quarterback that you put back there, besides maybe like Nathan Peterman, would have been able to win the Super Bowl with Philadelphia that year. That team was just absolutely stacked. And then we saw what happened after he lost some of those players, just down the toilet, you know. I think Miami wins this game. I mean, it's at Miami against the Colts team I don't really respect too much. I think Miami should be able to win this. I think it's going to be closer than people would think. I think it's going to be 27-24, just because the Dolphins don't play games that are not close. But I think the Dolphins still win, though. Browns-Vikings. Okay, the Vikings are confusing to me because they'll lose week 1 to the Bengals. Then they have... Aren't they 2-1 right now? Or is that like... No, they're 1-2. Okay, so let's look at the Vikings here. So then they lose to the Bengals in OT. Every single game they played this year has been close. They lose to the Bengals in OT. Then they lose to the Cardinals off a missed field goal, by the way. And then they somehow beat the Vikings last week. So the Vikings are one of those teams where it could really go either way. I'm starting to think that the Seahawks are not that great of a team, and that Russell Wilson might not be able to carry them through as much this year as he has in the past, but we'll see about that later down the line. I think the Browns should be able to win this even without Jarvis Landry. I think it's going to be close because the Vikings have proved this year I don't know that they're a playoff team, but they're definitely a team that's going to contend in a lot of games this year. They actually remind me of a team we're going to talk about next. But yeah, the Vikings are a team that can sneak up on you, right? They're a team that can sneak up on you. I have respect for them as a team, and I think they're going to win a decent amount of games this year. I just don't think they're going to win this one. This could be a shootout, right? But I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I think the Browns win it like 28-24, something like that, probably, right? That seems fair. Washington versus the Falcons. Again, Washington is very much like the Vikings, a team that can sneak up on you, has a decent amount of talent, able to win a decent amount of games. Their defense is really good. I like Tyler Heineke. I think he's a really good young quarterback. I think that a lot of people are going to find out how talented he actually is. And I think this is a really good game for Washington. Washington should be able to win this game. I think they can even put up 30 points in this game. I'll give them 30. I think the Falcons score 24. So I'll go with 30-24. Washington wins over Atlanta in that game. Texans Bills. Interesting situation for the Texans. I think the Bills win. The Bills are on paper the better team, and they should be able to win this week against the Texans. Don't even know what's going on with Tyrod Taylor. Obviously, the Deshaun Watson situation is, a thing that if that hadn't been the case, I think this game would be a lot more fun to talk about / watch. But obviously, with the case that he has, we're not going to be seeing him for a while on the football field if we ever do again. But yeah, I think the Bills win this game. They're a better team on paper. They should be a better team on the field. I think they probably put up 40 points again. I'm gonna say 42 to 24. I think it's gonna be a blowout, but I think the Texans still score some points. Giants versus Saints. I think the safe pick here is to go with the Saints, right? I don't, even if we do see like Jameis, even if we do see the bad version of Jameis Winston, I still think the Saints can win that game, even if we do see that, right? Because the Giants, I just don't know that the Giants have the talent to win this game. I don't think this is I don't think this is the time where the Giants are gonna win this game, right? The Giants, again, though they're a team that is capable of winning games. They remind me of the Lions. They just need the right matchup to win games. Like the Lions this week, I think have the right matchup against the Bears. I think the Bears are probably the worst team in that division. I think the Lions, like this is essentially a game that's being played for third place right here. And, you know, the Lions and Giants remind me of each other a lot. But I think the Lions are better than the Giants just by, like, a slight margin. That being said, the Saints have the propensity to hurt themselves a lot because they have Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston throws a lot of interceptions. That being said, he's also got a cannon, so it depends on which version of Jameis Winston shows up, but I think that the Saints win this one 27-24. The Giants, again, decent team, just can't finish games. Chiefs-Eagles. So the Chiefs have started this season out 1-2, and so the Eagles. No one expected the Chiefs to be 1-2 at this point, but they are. That defense is putrid. That being said, I don't think that the Eagles are a good enough team to beat the Chiefs. I think that the Chiefs should be able to win this game. It's going to be a higher scoring game. Jalen Hurts is going to put up some points. But I think Patrick Mahomes is going to put up more. I'll say 35-30, Chiefs get the dub. Panthers and Cowboys. Now, everybody's been talking about, oh, the Panthers are undefeated. Oh, the Panthers are undefeated. Okay, let's look at the games they've played. The Panthers have played against the Jets. They barely beat the Jets. Then they play the Saints. The Saints shot themselves in the foot that game because Jameis Winston came out and played a very bad game. Then they played a depleted Texans team who wasn't even starting Tyrod Taylor. So Tyrod Taylor is the best quarterback on the Texans currently, and yeah. Nothing against the Panthers, but they're going to lose this game. The Cowboys are going to start taking over the NFC East because Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in that division. And they have the best offense in that division. And unlike last year, they aren't riddled with injuries, and their defense seems to be a lot better this year than it was last year. There's no way that I would ever pick against the Cowboys in that situation. Like, do I think the Panthers are a lot better than they were last year? Yes. Are they necessarily a good team? Again, not necessarily. They're 3-0, but we'll talk about this later again with another team. You look at the teams they've played, like, what are the Texans? The Texans are 1-2. The Saints are also, the Saints are 1-1, which I guess they had a bye week last week. The Saints are 1-1, and the Jets are 0-3. So you're talking about playing up against teams that are combined total of 2-6. Like, that's not good. Right? So, the Panthers up to this point have had a pretty easy schedule, which lends them into 3-0. The Cowboys are not going to be... This is a true test for the Panthers. If they win this game, then we know that the Panthers are for real. Right? I'm not going to discount, that happening. It could happen because it's the Cowboys. But I actually think that the Cowboys might be more for real than the Panthers. Right? So, we'll see. I think there is one 3-0 team who stands out from the rest this season, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about the team I think is the best in a moment. But yeah, I think the Cowboys win. I think the Cowboys win this game, maybe even by like a point, maybe like 28-27. But I think they still get it done. Seahawks Niners, really good matchup, by the way. This is a divisional game. It's in the 49ers stadium. I love this game this season. The Niners, over the past few years, have either been healthy or they've been banged up. This year, they're healthy. I think they're a good team. Jimmy G is getting it done again. He is definitely, the guy. He's proving to everybody that, the Niners don't necessarily need Trey Lance right now. Maybe in the future. Maybe you don't want to pay Jimmy G a whole bunch of money. So you're going to have to go with Trey Lance eventually. But it just depends, right? I think, though, my gut is telling me to go with the Niners. My brain is telling me to go with the Seahawks. But I'm going to go with my gut because of what the Seahawks did last week. They did not look good last week. They did not look good last week against the Vikings. I'm going to pick the Niners. I think the Niners win like 31-24. I feel like that'd be a good score to pick there. Cardinals Rams. Now this is an interesting game because the Cardinals aren't. Yeah. Oh, they're both undefeated. Actually, I didn't realize that. Okay, so Cardinals versus the Rams. I thought the Cardinals had lost a game this season, but they had not. I think the Rams are a better team than the Cardinals right now, though. The Rams demolished the Buccaneers last week, and that was not just an upset. That was a big upset. I think the Rams are the best, or I think they're the best 3-0 team right now, which means they could be the best team in the NFL currently. They might be, actually. The Rams could be the best team in the NFL, just secretly underdogs this whole time because no one believed in Matthew Stafford. Wrongfully so. I said this when the Lions trade occurred. I said, Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than people realize, and if he gets onto a good team, which he is now, things are going to happen. And, Matthew Stafford is finally on a good team. Now he's showing up as a good quarterback. I knew he was a good quarterback this whole time. That being said, the Cardinals are a tough opponent. But are they tougher than the Buccaneers? I don't think so. I think the Rams win this. This is going to be a shootout. I think the Rams are going to win 36-33. Steelers Packers. This is pretty easy call here. Without T.J. Watt, the Steelers don't really have a pass rush. The Steelers still don't have a running game. Ben Roethlisberger is, looking a little bit off kilter this season. Maybe because he's a bit older. Maybe this will end up being Ben's final season in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers had a horrible week 1, but he's bounced back to produce 2 great wins in a row. I think I gotta go with the Packers here. I mean, this is a Super Bowl rematch from like 11 years ago, but, that game was a lot different back then. Aaron Rodgers is younger. But Aaron Rodgers is only 1 year younger than Big Ben, but he's played a hell of a lot better. And Big Ben played a hell of a lot better, 10 years ago in that Super Bowl than he is now. So, I think this might be lopsided. I don't think the Steelers are doing anything this year. I really don't. Like, last year was their time to try to do something. And at this point, I don't know. I don't know where the Steelers' trajectory, to be honest, this is not even biased speaking. I'm a Ravens fan, so maybe it's a little bit biased, but the Steelers' trajectory for where they're going is not great. their quarterback situation is bad. Big Ben is obviously older, and their defense is going to be good if T.J. Watt is healthy. But if T.J. Watt is not healthy, good luck. And the Bengals and the rest of the AFC North, the Bengals are getting better. The Bengals beat them last week. I think the Packers can easily, score a ton of points on the Steelers. I think it's going to be 32 to 26. 32-26 Packers. Bruh, okay. You want to talk about teams that are overrated. This is the team that you want to talk about in the Denver Broncos. People have been saying this all year, right? So, the Broncos, you look at it, they score about 25 points a game. Okay, that's pretty good. The Ravens actually score more than that, by the way. The Broncos are scoring around 25 points a game. Their defense hasn't given up more than 13 points this year. But if you look, they played the Giants. Okay, let's look at the Giants record. That was like a couple weeks ago. Okay, so they beat them. But maybe we just need to click on this. So let's see. Have the Giants won any games this year? Oh no, they haven't. They haven't won any games this year. Huh? Okay. Okay, they won that. Okay, that's cool. The Jaguars. The Jaguars haven't won any games this year either. Okay, well, surely they've played a team that's won a game this season. Okay, the Jets. Okay, maybe, surely the Jets. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. The Broncos are 3-0 because they've played the worst teams in the NFL? Is that what I'm saying? They played 0-3 teams? Oh. Now it makes sense. Bro, I swear to God, how did the NFL give the Broncos such an easy 3 games in a row, man? Right? The Broncos are 3-0, but they've played teams with a combined record of 0-9. You can say, oh, it's the NFL. It's still impressive. It's still impressive to a degree. These teams that they have played are really bad. I'm not going to count the Broncos out now, okay? The Ravens have a lot of injuries. They played very bad last week and got very lucky to be able to win off a 66-yard field goal, which is historic. So, I'm not going to say anything about that. I think there's a good 50-50 chance for both teams to win this game. This is going to be a close game, probably. But, I may be a little bit biased to him, but I'm going to take the Ravens. And you know why I'm going to take the Ravens. Let's look at the Ravens' opponents, okay? So, in terms of record, it might not be that great. The Chiefs are going to turn around, though. Okay, so the Ravens have played a 3-0 team, by the way. Went against the 3-0 team and lost in overtime. Beat the Chiefs and then beat the Lions. So the Ravens actually have a decent, victory on their resume this year. And are part of the reason that the Chiefs are even 1-2. So, this is probably going to be a close game. I'm going to say it may even be a 1-point game, even 28-27. Ravens. But, no, I think the Broncos have a good chance to win this one, but I just don't know about them at all. Like, they're definitely the worst 3-0 team. They've played nobody with a single win. Right? Nobody have a single win. The Ravens have played a team that has a 3-0 record already, and they're playing another one, right? So, then they played the Chiefs already, too. So the Ravens are getting, all these tests. Well, no, the Broncos are sitting by, and the Ravens, by the way, 15 players on IR, and they're still 2-1, so, yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying, Buccaneers, Patriots, Buccaneers. This is an easy call. Okay. Alright, look. we all know now who the real genius of the Patriots was, for all those years. It was Tom Brady. It was never Bill Belichick. If it was Belichick, the Patriots would be a winning team right now, and they're not. They're not that good. Alright. Hey. The Bucks are gonna hang up at least like 35 points on these fools. At least, especially with the beating they took last week, right? Patriots are going to do the classic Patriots thing and score like 16 points. It's going to be like 35-16. You don't even want to watch the game. Yeah, sure, Tom Brady back in Foxborough. No one cares. Okay, no one cares, I can assure you. Now, the Raiders, okay. So, there are four teams that are 3 away. No, 5. There are 5 teams in the NFL that are 3-0 right now. You have the Panthers, the Cardinals, and Rams. One of them is going to lose their perfect record this week. And you have the Raiders. And Broncos. And now, I already said how I feel about the Broncos. I think they are the worst of this pack. But the second worst team is probably the Panthers. I think the Raiders are right on the cusp of, not being... They definitely are on the cusp of, like, being a Super Bowl contender. But I don't think they're there yet. I think they're right... Like, they've been pretty lucky this season, right? They have won 2 overtime games. I think they've had the hardest schedule out of every single team that's 3-0, actually. And it's not going to get easier. They're not expected to, win this division. That being said, I actually believe they are a better team than the Chargers, so I'm going to pick the Raiders here to continue going on their undefeated season so far. I really think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring game, though, too, because Justin Herbert and Derek Carr are both slinging it this year. We knew that Justin Herbert would be, right? We knew that. Everybody knew that. He had a fantastic rookie season. But I don't think anyone expected this. Derek Carr now leads the NFL in passing yards right now. Derek Carr, right? No, everybody always said, oh, Derek Carr is like a average quarterback. He ain't gonna lose you games. He's not gonna, be a guy that can go out and, win you a whole bunch of games, though. Maybe you get to the playoffs and you win a couple of games. Nah, this year, Derek Carr looks legit. He is leading the NFL in passing yards. They don't really have any, receivers that are too notable besides Waller, right? And Waller is a tight end, okay? The Raiders are legit this season. They're legit. But I think even though that they're legit, they still got a few question marks. They're playing in games that are too tight all the time. They've played in 2 overtime games this year already with, only 3 weeks happening. So that's pretty crazy, dude. But yeah, anyway. I think the Raiders win this one 37-34. It's going to be a high-scoring game. There's the potential for a lot of these games this week to be shootouts, right? This video has gone on for way too long at this point. It's been a freaking 34-minute video, so I'm not even going to cut it down, by the way. It's going to be that long when it gets posted. Because I'm lazy. Anyway, I feel like there are a lot of good games this week. These first 2 games, all 3 of these games are trash. This game is a good game. That's a good game. That's a good game. That's potentially a good game, but I doubt it. That's a good game right there, actually. Saints Giants would be good. Chiefs Eagles should be good. Panthers Cowboys should be good. Yeah, honestly, 49ers Seahawks should be good. That should be good. That's it. Both teams are undefeated, so that's going to be a game that everybody should want to watch. Cardinals Rams. Ravens Broncos is going to be good. And Chargers Raiders definitely gonna be good. There's a lot of good games this week. Steelers Packers might end up being good, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. Yeah, there's a lot of good games this week. A lot of potential for shootouts to happen. Yeah. So this is the picks this week. Alright, we'll be keeping track to see what the record is. I believe I said my record is like 28 and 26, I want to say. Not too bad. Let's hope that we can keep our winning record and march on. Alright, peace.